Hello there, welcome back. This is the video for SOCI 203 sections F and H for the exam prep, right? So I'm just going to take you through how do you find the exam questions on Moodle itself, but also how to tackle the exam questions 1 week prior to the exam, right? What are some of the tips and tricks, for example? So here we go. Let me share my screen. The exam, of course, is next Monday on the 23rd of October during tutorial. So again, if your tutorial normally starts at 10:15 a.m., yeah, section F, be there latest 10:05, right? Because I will be starting at 10:15. You only have 1 hour. Same goes for section H, 11:45 a.m., be there 11:35, right, latest. The exam, as you know, is only 1 hour and it happens within the tutorial section. For students registered with the ACSD, you should already be able to contact the representative there or on your portal. I checked with Dr. Dagenet already today, and it should be okay there. So you will be having your exams at the center, not with the rest of the class in the tutorial. Out of 4 questions, you're going to answer 3, most of which you will draw from the lecture. With the only exception of Dr. Simon's question on interactionist sociology, you will draw from the lecture in the afternoon, right? So not the tutorial, not the reading, but from what the professor giving the lecture in that afternoon says, right? 300 word max, right, per question. So keep it within that confinement, and it's closed book. So there's no outside source to help, yes? As always, please book office hours. I know some students have already started doing that, so if there's no time left, I'm always available through email. But more so than that, I will be hosting 2 exam prep sessions this Tuesday, which is tomorrow, and Thursday. And so on Tuesday, it's virtual only because I am under the weather. And the link is right there, Concordia. And on Thursday, in person, EV 11425, just right across the hall from 2 to 3:30 p.m., right? How do you get there? If you come up the lifts from to the EV building, yes, you will see the Milieu Institute. You walk straight ahead, you will see this door here, tag, don't go in there, turn to your left, and I'm in there, sitting alone, waiting to help with your exam, okay? So on Moodle, if you log in, you go to SOCI 203, and before you do that, you grab a drink of water. That is way too hot. Anyway, you don't burn your throat doing that, but you grab a drink of water and you scroll down right here on the 16th of October, and the examination questions already posted. It will be updated tomorrow with Dr. Swiffin's lecture as well. So once you're in, here it is, the 3 questions so far. So there's going to be 4 in total, but you can choose to answer 3. So be sure to know, now I will go over this during the exam prep sessions, but be sure to note these keywords, right? Demonstrate, analyze, right? These are kind of giving you the pointers of how to approach this answer, right? Explain. So for the first one, demonstrate the phenomenon of contemporary suicide offers itself to be understood as a social phenomenon, right? So first and foremost, contemporary suicide, social phenomenon, how? So explain, and you must literally hear, as Professor Dagenet that day gave us the list of 8 things in this table. Remember, you have that sheet at home, but you also have that sheet, I believe, here. So on Moodle, you can pull that right up and just give me maybe 4 points or 3 points, right? It's the cohort effect and explain. It's the peculiarity of the Quebec position and explain. Western scope, right? Explain. And refer, of course, to the notes that you took as well during that lecture. So because it's 300 words, I need no more than, 3 points max. A point, explanation, a point, explanation, a point, explanation, but also always link it back to why contemporary suicide is a social phenomenon, not just why it's historical, why it's cultural, but why is it social, right? Yes, it's historical, but it's situated within Western society. Yes, it's cultural and it's situated socially, because other cultures in Finland, etc., also share it. Professor Luo's lecture on Foucault, right, in Disciplined Society on the digital surveillance. It's a comparison question, right? So in what ways? Converge and diverge is just another fancy way of saying compare, right? Compare Foucault's panopticon with Dr. Luo's definition and characteristics of digital surveillance. Make sure you practice, otherwise you will make all these typos like me, right? So easy peasy lemon squeezy. What is Foucault's panopticon? In one sentence, you should be able to do that by looking at your notes, and also if you did a reading report on that, boom, right there, right? It's a metaphorical model of how power is pervasive today, right? That is automatic, and it starts from the individual, right? It stays there. It doesn't come from the state. The individual self-maintains, self-disciplines themselves. And Dr. Luo's characteristic of how digital surveillance is, right? So compare those two together. Finally, Professor Simon's lecture, yes, is basically to talk about interactionist sociology. Very easy. So he gave you, oh wow, a bunch of slides, right, on the characteristics of what interactionist sociology does, what it could be, what it is, what it studies. Heck, pick 5 things, right? And so pick some stuff from there, how it focuses on the micro level, how it tells us about not what people are, what people do, but why do they keep doing what they do? And why is this important sociologically, right? And so you are able here, this is key, you're able to bring in Goffman, right? So if you want to say that interactionist sociology focuses on micro, tells us why people keep doing what they do. For example, in Goffman, this approach allowed him to explain and understand why mental health institution patients were able to roam around the city as normal passing by using civil inattention, right? Or why focusing on the individuals maintaining their social of everyday life, such as how people engage in focused interactions differently. Staring in the West is considered intense. Oh, sorry, staring in the UK, right at the park, is considered an offense, whilst staring in the US is considered a norm. That someone staring at an American staring at someone else in the UK can potentially cause a conflict. This is because, as Goffman says, with interactionist viewpoint, people define, let's say, actions differently, that the social situation always prevail, regardless of the method that is used to make encounter. So it doesn't have to be that precise, and it can be if you practice at home. right? By typing it out, by writing, and it's not so much for you to remember word for word, but nail those key points. So if I saw this, right, I'm not going to judge you by your spelling, unless, of course, I can't understand it. But I'm just going to look, boom, right here. In what ways, according to Dr. Simon, or also Goffman, indicative that interactionist sociology is distinctive, or what are the key characteristics of interactionist sociology? Give me an example from Dr. Simon and or Goffman, right? So in this case, okay, let's have a look. Interactionist sociology, la la la. Individuals maintaining social power in everyday life. Boom. That's one key characteristic of interactionist sociology. That's what it tells us, right? Okay, boom. I see there. Let's have an example. This example right here is from Goffman. Okay, another mark. Okay, another Goffman. And you link it back to the question. Social situation always prevail. Boom. Easy peasy. That's 3 marks, right? So it's just like that. And we'll practice these things. So make sure that when you do show up, if you do, at the practice sessions, either on Tuesday at 2 to 3 online, and or on Thursday at 2 to 3:30 online, and just right here at EV11425, bring your own answers to, or within those notes that you made and the printout sheets, circle the things that you remember that stuck out to you, right? If you wrote really important something, choose that topic, and then let's develop that into a very cohesive and easy, 1 hour, 3 questions, done. Okie dokie. See you then.